Welcome to Bharat CXO, myself Kaumadi Vaidya. We are at the third edition of the Credit and Collections Summit, and I have with me Mr. Soham Shah. Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Hi, good afternoon. I'm doing well, thank you.
Yeah, fantastic. So, how are you feeling about the event today?
I think the event is great. I think it's great to have a forum to connect with people in the credit and collections ecosystem and brainstorm. Yeah, so I think it's great. It's great to have a place to connect with all the people from the credit and collections ecosystem, and it's always good to experience new ideas, new perspectives from various speakers and industry leaders in the banking and financial services domain.
So, what do you think are the future trends in the finance sector?
So in the finance sector, I think it's all about now lending to Bharat, right? How do you expand lending to tier 3, tier 4 towns, cities? How do you enable the people who are unbanked and help them with formal finance? And which obviously spurs the question that if and when these people do default, how do you collect from them? And I think that is the burning problem that so many financial institutions today are facing, with especially with the increasing emphasis that the regulatory authorities are putting on how collections is happening, and what are the ethical ways in which collections should happen. Like, you don't need to cross a boundary to collect. So I think that's a challenge, and that's something that we've been speaking about at the summit as well.
Absolutely, sir. Also, what are the challenges like exactly the threats which are included in the finance sector?
So I think unsecured lending has gone through the roof, and of course it's good in a certain way because a lot of people who are unbanked are getting access to finance without putting up collateral. But that also poses a risk because these credit models for assessing the risk are still evolving. So I think that's a challenge that the industry is definitely grappling with, and I think better ways to resolve disputes when they occur for these unsecured loans are required for banks and NBFCs to continue their journey of lending to these borrowers.
Absolutely. Lastly, I would like to ask you, what are your suggestions for the young generation, especially the Gen Z? What are your suggestions for them? You are like the ones who wants to come into the finance sector, especially.
Right. So I think first suggestion is obviously get a good education, right? I think that's super important. But today there are so many areas where you can innovate. I think with AI coming in, the curve to exceed and to really excel is growing much steeper. So it's going to be very easy to really come in if you have a skill set in AI where you can really help us identify who are the borrowers who are more likely to default, help improve lending models, help improve how collection happens, what is the kind of collection strategy that should be used for specific borrowers. I think that could have a great impact, and that could really help them jump the ladder. So yeah, these kind of focus areas.
I hope the listeners must be getting a lovely insight from you. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure having you today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.